If we have a sound knowledge of Shastra, not 50%, 90% of the problem is solved. And then if we are also following the Sampradaya, then we have a lot of clarity. The problem is this. And people who don't read Ramayana talk about Rama. People who don't read Mahabharata talk about why Pandavas are right or wrong, etc. People who never read the Manusmriti want to burn it. People who never practice Sanatana Dharma say we want to eradicate it. So this is the problem today. So either we should know the Shastra or the Sampradaya. Sampradaya is like the container. Any time you can fill in the Shastra and make sense to what we are doing. People who cross the Sindhu to come to this part of Bharata always connected it to Sindhu river. It's like the border. They first crossed Sindhu to come to Bharata. So Sindhu was a point, it was a geographical identification for Bharata. For a very long time, Sindhvi, Sindhu, Sindhu. So you all may be knowing in the Avesta language and many European languages, Sa becomes Ha. So Sindhu became Hindu. The land to the east of Sindhu was called Hindu, Hindu Desha. As a result, the concept of Sanatana Dharma, to call Dharma itself was called Hindu. We also accepted that. So today when we say Hindu, we are actually having in the mind the intention, the idea is of Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. But the word we are using is Hindu. But they all mean the same to us. When I say I am Hindu, when I say I am Sanatana Dharmi, when I say I am a Sanatani, I don't have any other idea on my mind. So when we say Hindutva Vadi, there is no Vada Gida. It's not Vada, it's my Dharma. So yes, he's already said the tune by talking about how Udayanidhi just triggered that conversation, or he triggered he thought he would float an idea, but of course optimism is all about using every situation properly. Whatever is their intention, our optimism enables us to pick up that topic and probe deeper into that. So there is one inconvenience and one convenience for me in presenting about Sanatana Dharma. The convenience is that we are all living it knowingly or unknowingly. Maybe we are not able to define or articulate in particular words. But the moment if I quote something from the Shastra, you will immediately connect to that. So we are doing the Sampradaya. There are two things, Shastra and Sampradaya. So Shastra is the documentation, mostly in literature. And Sampradaya is what we actually practice. So in Kannada we say Achara Vichara. Achara plus Vichara. Achara minus Vichara will make us superstitious. We'll kind of be afraid of what went wrong, what to do, what not to do. Should I keep the flower on the top or near the feet? These small trivial things become very important. The main concept, the contemplation and the philosophy is lost somewhere. But on the other hand, if there's a ridiculous fashion we see everywhere today, saying, I am spiritual but not religious. That is the most hypocritic thing. Because it's like saying, if I asked Prasannaji for water, why did he bring a steel glass? You can bring water just like that, right? We need a container, right? We are not all Ramana Maharshis and Ramakrishnas. We need a maturity. For little children, if I say, what is 3 plus 5? They will start counting 3 in the mind and 4 on the fingers, right? So they need to count with fingers. The same kid after it's crossed 10 or 11 years doesn't need to do that. So we are all evolving in different paces, in different styles. So to just because I think I'm rational, I think I'm very intellectual, I think all this is nonsense. All of us are basically very emotional people. We are emotionally attached to something. We give a rational justification to that emotion. So to be very precise, we all have to have both Shastra and Sampradaya. To ridicule Sampradaya, I am very spiritual, I don't care for these rituals, I am not ritualistic. No, that's not the way to go. I don't mean to say we all must be ritualistic. There are different roads. But to discuss all the roads, we need a lot of time. We have a whole course called Sanatana Dharma in Vibhu Academy. I welcome you all to come. Prasannaji had taken the course. We discuss in detail what is what, many aspects of Sanatana Dharma, and we don't give opinions there. We just bring you what is there in the Shastra, what is told in the Dharma Shastra, what is told in Bhagavad Gita, what is told in this particular thing. So we try to bring as much as the original ideas are not the narratives. Narratives sometimes, even the Indian narratives, even the very honest narratives can be incorrect, because narratives are narratives ultimately. So facts are narratives. So we have to go to the originals. So we need a lot of time. So in 20 minutes to put that into a nutshell is not an easy thing. It's like showing a bucket of water from the ocean and saying this is what the ocean is about. No doubt the water is from the ocean, but the bucket cannot represent the ocean. So that problem is there, that inconvenience is there. And those people who have a little bit of Shastra and Sampradaya touch with both of them are most safe. If we are only following Sampradaya out of innocence or bhakti or out of an urge to protect, keep this going, we are not wrong, but we are incomplete. If we know the Shastras very well but don't practice the Sampradaya, it is like we are only thinking, doing some intellectual somersaults and radical, rationalizing too much, bringing silly logic into everything. These days we see how Torana Kattodu, for that also they bring in physics, chemistry, mathematics into everything. That is another extreme end. Because there are so many dimensions in life. We don't have to bring everything into physical science. Today science means mostly physical science, right? That is not the only thing. I have a son, okay? I give him food, I give him everything, that's fine. Physically I give him food, clothing, support, everything. But I give him my love also. Can I measure my love in terms of ounces or grams? And do you think love does not exist? If I cannot prove something through material science, physical science, it doesn't mean that doesn't exist. But today there is that stupidity. Bring everything, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Shastra, even Rangoli, everything, and try to define that in terms of today's Western physical sciences. That is again inferiority complex. We again are accepting that anything mine, anything Bharatiya, if I have to prove it to be worthwhile, it has to pass through the checkpost of the Westerners. What nonsense is this? Ours is at least 10,000 years old. It's time tested. It's a way of, we have lived it. We have seen the effect. We have been the beneficiaries. So why should a science which is still, with due respect to Western science, I don't say I'm using this mic, this is also Western technology. Anything good that comes from outside, Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwataha. But something which is predating that, we don't have to try to bring it here and prove. That desperation to prove everything through science is taking us to illogical rationalism. Rationalism which is not exactly very sound. So we should see something as it is. Now if I want to know about Ganga Nadi, I have to go sit there, see, study, take the waters, bathe there. I have to have the direct perception of something. That is the right way to do. So living the Sampradaya is one advantage. If somebody asks me, what do you get from puja? If I am doing puja every day, I know exactly what happens to me when I do puja. The kind of happiness I get, the joy, the divinity, the mental ambience that comes with puja, the kind of fulfillment. The whole house is charged with that kind of a divine mood. I totally understand that. But if you ask an outsider who knows nothing about puja, bring a foreigner or bring a person who has contempt for Sanatan, bring Udaynidhi Stalin and ask him what is puja, he will say somebody is sitting there and throwing flowers on one idol. He is not wrong, he is telling just the physical things, but minus the actual spirit behind that. So this is where Sampradaya and Shastra both need to go together. Today the problem is we are not trained in Shastra from a young age. So we go to different people who all give their opinions. What opinion appears nice to me, I accept them as my guru. This is what is happening, right? Honestly, this is what is happening. We are all confused. And the more number of shishyas they have, that guru is supposedly right. With due respect, all gurus are doing something, they are saving our culture. But finally the confusion continues. So one thing is, connect to the original Shastras. What are the original Shastras? There are Ashtadasha Vidya Paddhatis. Veda, Vedangas. Vedangas to start late is difficult. You said Praudagana. So to start with Vyakarana, Jyotisha now may be difficult. It's not difficult. My first Sanskrit student is my father. At the age of 73, he started learning. from me. It's never too late. It depends on how much we commit ourselves to that. But one thing is, if we have a sound knowledge of Shastra, not 50%, 90% of the problem is solved. And then if you are also following the Sampradaya, then we have a lot of clarity. The problem is where people follow the Sampradaya without knowing the Shastra. So they make assumptions about what they do. And there are people who just read the Shastras mostly through Wikipedia, mostly through English texts. We are so addicted to English, unfortunately. Even now I am also speaking the colonizer's language. And there are so many words which just cannot represent our Samskrita and Sanatana Dharma ideas. Because those ideas don't exist in their civilization. If I say Obbattu, Holige, Ambode, can I translate this to English? I have to go round about some pulses, soaked in water. Like you go to a 5-star hotel, they give you a menu. You don't understand anything. Sariyagi helapana idli ashte innenalla. It's like that. So to bring a word, the right word to represent a concept that does not exist in a civilization. That is what today is happening. Today, all these hasty English translations, English interpretations of our Shastric terminology. It started with Max Muller. Later on, Max Muller became very honest. Later on, after the damage was done, it was too late. And all these hasty translations, calling Dharma as religion, calling Shraddha as faith, and all these nonsensical translations have completely confused us. They have made a mess with the real meanings. I'd like to tell you this in the beginning because we should know what is our problem first. It seems a couple moved into a new house, and every morning the lady used to sip her coffee after all the household chores, and she was sleeping across the window. She used to tell her husband every day, look, the lady next door washes her clothes and puts them to dry, and they're all so dull. She doesn't wash them properly. Every day she would keep telling that. One day she told her husband, today look, at last she's washed the clothes very white. Husband said, no, I cleaned our window pane today. So is our window pane correct? Is our window pane clean? That's a very important thing. So if you're already stuck with some ideas, assumptions, I've already believed something to be right and I'm just looking for more support to my idea, then we cannot be really honest researchers. The problem is this. And people who don't read Ramayana talk about Rama. People who don't read Mahabharata talk about why Pandavas are right or wrong, etc. People who don't know what Draupadi is show her like a feminist figure. People who never read the Manusmriti want to burn it. People who never practice Sanatana Dharma say we want to eradicate it. So this is the problem today. So either we should know the Shastra or the Sampradaya. Sampradaya is like the container. Any time you can fill in the Shastra and make sense to what we are doing. I may be following puja and rituals without knowing the meaning. But slowly I may start getting the meaning. Someday, somewhere, the enlightening may happen. And along with Shastra, if I'm not just a dry logician, but I do respect this, then the connection will be felt better. So with this small prelude, what is Sanatana Dharma? The words Hindu, Hindutva, of course, there is no denying that it's a foreign word. Sindhu is the river, and it was in the heart of Bharata, because Bharata was much bigger. Because we lost big parts of our land to Afghanistan, Pakistan, Baluchistan. So now it's a part of Pakistan, which is originally Bharata. So Sindhu and Saraswati, the land area between Sindhu and Saraswati, largely Gujarat, Rajasthan, Sindh, which is now in Pakistan, Karachi, all that area, that whole area, and till Afghanistan, the big patch of land is called Veda Bhumi. That is where most of our Vedic lore was conceived. So imagine, that's a Veda Bhumi. And that is why people who crossed the Sindhu to come to this part of Bharata always connected it to Sindhu river. It's like the border. They first crossed Sindhu to come to Bharata. So Sindhu was a point, it was a geographical identification for Bharata. For a very long time, Sindhvi, Sindhu. So you all may be knowing in the Avesta language and many European languages, Sa becomes Ha. Like our Macaulay education teaches us everything from West, right? In mathematics, we say pentagon. That's pancha became penta, and sapta became heptagon. Ashta became octa. Even the names of our months. Deka is dasha. So actually it should be the 10th month. So New Year should be in March. Okay, so they very cleverly renamed everything. They called July after Julius Caesar, August after Augustus, etc. But later I think Sakaitu and such, they just left it there. They left the hint for us. September is Sapta, but it's not the 7th month now. So they very cleverly shifted the calendar back to January just to glorify Christ. Gregorian calendar. Gregorian was not a scholar, he was just another phonetic missionary. So if you take March was the New Year for everybody across the world, for the Mayan people, for most of them. So that is how, sorry, I think I'm deviating, but these words, they give us the hint. So Deka became Dasha, Octa became Ashta, and Septa became Hepta. So Sa became Her. So Sindhu became Hindu. The land to the east of Sindhu was called Hindu. Hindu Desha, Hindu, Hindi, and Her was deleted, it became Indi. Indu, Indus, Indi, Indic, Indica. We still use those names. We are comfortable using that instead of Bharatavarsha. Okay, so there's no denying that this name is foreign to us, or it is a apabhramsha, it is a semantic derivation, semantic distortion of the original name Sindhu. And we are not just Sindhu, we all know. We are a very big land. Many of us have not seen Sindhu at all. I have seen Sindhu. I had been to Manas Sarovara. It is born from Manas's Kailasa. So I was there on the banks of Sindhu. But many of us have not seen, right? So we are not just Sindhu. We are a very big land. We all know that. But because they constantly called us Sindhu, 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 and they wrote about us, they kept using the word, and because they colonized us, they imposed their textbooks upon us, their narratives upon us, their textbooks upon us, their dictionary upon us, and we are very good people. We don't care. We are very good people, no? Too good. Good. So disgustingly good. So we allowed them to call us anything. They changed our names. And they used it so much that the name Bharatavarsha took a back seat, and India, Hindu, it became more prominent. So as a result, the concept of Sanatana Dharma, to call Dharma itself was called Hindu. We also accepted that. So today when we say Hindu, we are actually having in the mind the intention, the idea is of Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. But the word we are using is Hindu. We are comfortable because we know what we have in mind. But the people who want to divide us, people who want to completely subdue us, they are creating much more confusion, saying Hindutva is we support Dharma, but we don't support Hindu. That there again, Hinduism itself is not our word. It's an English addition. It's an English suffix. They say Hinduism, Hindutva, all this Sanatana, they are trying to create a mess, but they all mean the same to us. When I say I'm Hindu, when I say I'm Sanatana Dharmi, when I say I'm a Sanatani, I don't have any other idea on my mind. So when we say Hindutva Vadi, there's no Vada Gida. It's not Vada, it's my Dharma. I want to protect that. Somebody is trespassing. Somebody is trying to intervene into my territory, my cultural territory. So I'm stopping them. I'm countering them. I'm defending. And suddenly they say this is Hindutva Vada. So they are creating these narratives. So why am I telling you all this is, we are confused with words. If I'm not speaking out of context, a few years back when I was younger, you go to a public place, there would be a word bathroom. Amele change aitu, toilet aitu. Then it became restroom, washroom. Isn't it? Words change. To change the words will not change the concept. So we are getting confused with these words. So first let us stand up and say they are all the same. Hindu Dharma, Hindutva, Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana, Vaidika, Janapada, Agama, we are all the same. It's all the same. They are all interconnected. We all mean the same, we all have the same spirit. If we don't have this clarity, we will be easily taken for a ride. Everybody, oh, you are a Sanatani, okay. You are a Hinduvadi, no. So we think we are different. So thank you, Dhanyavad. This confusion will come. First, let us understand that we are just one great civilization. To the east of, not just the east of Sindhu, till Vitasta river, which is now called Neelam or Jhelum, whatever, in Afghanistan, even that is a part of it. Vitasta. I was in Bahrain a few years back. I don't go to malls. I don't go to their other places also. I prefer to go to a museum. So I was really amazed. The last thing I expected was there are so many remnants of temples there. It's just connected to Saudi Arabia. You know, the only country which Bahrain is connected to is Saudi Arabia. All otherwise it's amidst a sea. Okay, I was shocked. If it was in Afghanistan, not so shocking. Persia, okay. But Bahrain. So imagine the vyapti of Sanatana Dharma. Okay, coming to the point now. So what is Sanatana? The word Sanatana means it is eternal. Sanatana doesn't mean Puratana. Puratana means old, ancient. Sanatana means eternal. It is self-sustaining. It is very adaptive. And actually, I don't know if I can put it very short. If there was a board, it would be nice. Please don't worry. If there's no board, it's okay. So Dharma itself, the definition of Dharma, there are so many definitions to Dharma. But the idea is one. Our whole Shastra Parampara, Veda, Agama, everything says that the real idea of Dharma can be only conceived through the Ruta Prajna. Ruta Prajna, Ruta Satya Dharma. Ruta Prajna is the only way we can comprehend Dharma. Not by Vada, just like that, discussing, debating and giving opinions, brainstorming opinions. This will not give you the idea of Dharma. Ruta Prajna. And where does the Ruta Prajna come? Rutam Vachmi, Satyam Vachmi. You might have heard these words. Ruta. So Ruta is it's a wisdom, it's an awareness. It's an awakening that happens when the Antaratma, the Buddhi, the Mati, Nishchala Matihi, which is totally in equilibrium, totally in tranquility. When our Buddhi is completely transcended, it has transcended all our emotions and it is in a state of absolute Satchidananda bliss. Then we get the Ruta Prajna. So that Ruta Prajna, when you open the eyes, when you see the world around, you understand what is what. You understand the secret sutra that runs the whole Leela called this universe. So the whole universe is in me also. When I understand the Ruta Prajna within me, the same Ruta Prajna helps me understand my role here. How I connect to the mountains or plants and animals and birds to human beings. What is my role here? What is my role in the family, in the society? So all these, the Dharma Prajna comes from Ruta Prajna. So the first expression of Ruta through mouth, what we speak is called Satya. And what we implement in practice is called Dharma. So just have a mental picture. Ruta, Satya and Dharma. Head, speech and Kaya, Vacha, Manasa also we keep using all these words, right? Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. So without understanding Ruta here, any amount of lecture you give, any amount of Shastra you read, Yasya nasti swayam prajna shastrastasya karokti kim lochanabhyam vihinasya darpanah king karishyati. It's a very nice subhashita. It says, if you give a blind man a mirror, what is the use? So lochanabhyam vihinasya darpanah king karishyati. Similarly, a person who does not have swayam prajna, Ruta prajna, shastram tasya karoti kim. All the Shastra is for paropakara, to tell others, to make a show of our Panditya. I know this much, I know so many verses, I have this whole thing by heart. So okay, he is just enjoying, that's also great, he has done sadhana, but that doesn't make him a Dharmatma. So, Ruta Prajna is very important. That is why in Sanatana Dharma, they say, all said and done, their Shastras, their Vedas, their Puranas, everything, but if you want to get the password to all that. There is Wi-Fi everywhere. If you want to get the password, morning and evening do dhyana. Sandhya Vandana. That is why we do that. Get up in the morning, very tranquil moment when the whole parisara, the whole environment is calm, very pleasant. Connect. Today we have AC rooms. We shut all the doors, windows, and make it again a Western style thing and sit there. No. We have to go out. The typical way of performing Sandhya Vandana is go to the riverside, go to the lakeside, go to a temple, go to the courtyard or go to the terrace. Go to some place where you expose your body and mind to the nature. The sun's rays should fall on the body. The mind should see, we should listen, we should feel the morning. And this is how we should start the day. All this is to help us to wake up that Ruta Prajna. So in that state of Ruta Prajna, Dhyana, then we should understand Dharma. This is what everybody should say. Dhiyo yonav prachodayat. May my mind, my mati, just Prajna, go upwards. Let it connect to the cosmic Satya, the Ruta, the Paramaruta, Paramatma. And when that connection happens, it may not happen overnight, but every day I connect to that. Knowingly or unknowingly, we have a wiser way of seeing life. And then what we speak becomes Satya, what we do becomes Dharma. By writing on the notice board, do this, don't do this, that is also required because many people don't meditate. But for people who do it on their own, the dictation will come from here, the conscience will dictate. So this is Sanatana Dharma's very, very common principle. It is for everybody, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, for a tribal man, for the woman, for the man, for a baby, for the old man, for everybody. Connect to the Ruta Prajna. So we should start here actually. And second common thing for all Varnas, there are so many things, I am just talking of the very common things for everybody. Second thing is, we should be aware of the runas. I am born here, the moment I am born, I am runatrayena baddhaha. I am tied down, pinned down by 3 runas. Runa means obligation or debt. Deva runa, Rishi runa, Pitu runa. So when we have a debt, I have no right to question why I should give you back. I am indebted, that's all. So Deva runa, the soul Prakriti, Surya, Chandra, Nakshatra, Vanaspatis, everything. It's all given by the God, isn't it? We don't see God. We can't see Him with this, the mortal eyes. So we have to see His grace through that. If the sun stops one day, he says, okay, bye, I'm fed up of you all. What will happen to us? He doesn't take a leave. No gratuity, no bonus, no holiday, isn't it? But we respect. So what can we give back to the sun? What can we give him back? Tell me, what can we give back to the sun? Nothing. Ondiಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಘ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತೀವಪ್ಪ. Does it reach the sun physically? So it is not, the thanking to the sun is not for the sun. He will give it anyway. He will give it to Stalin also, he will give it to me also, he will give it to everybody. He is nishpakshapata. But when I acknowledge that, I become a dharmatma. I acknowledge, yes, oh Surya, it is because of me I am alive. Oh Bhumata, padasparsham kshamasvame, I say, and then I step on Bhumi. We should teach it to our children. We should never step on the Bhumi without saying, oh Amma, thank you. Padasparsham kshamasvame, I am going to tread on you, please forgive me. I have no choice. I have to stamp you. So she will not put a case on us. Mother Earth will not put a case, but I will get the samskara. I will be aware that yes, I am indebted to you. Pitruruna, our parents, our grandparents, I am carrying their DNA. If I am something today, it's because of the culture of so many generations. I may not know the name of my 6th or 7th generation behind me, but I still do carry their genes. Should I not be indebted to them? When I was born, maybe the grandmother, I have never seen her, but she has handled me, she's taken care of me. What if she dropped me someday? What if my mother said, hey, Magu tumba alate, put me in the dustbin? She spent sleepless nights. She poured her youth, her beauty, her energy, everything. To become a mother, even physically, is not an easy. I'm a mother also. A lot of sacrifice goes with that. And we do it happily. After all that, no mother will say, Akappa Magu uttu. No, she'll be very happy. She feels blessed. So, we are all indebted to them. We are all beneficiaries. So, I have this runa. Pitru Runa. Mata, Pita, Pitamaha, Matamaha, all sides, both sides, Appa side, Amma side. So we must acknowledge that. If they are alive, we do service to them. I can say, I know better English than you, I know better fashion than you, I earn more than you, blah, blah, blah. We have all nonsensical things to say. We are better, we are progressive. What words? What is progress? I don't understand what we mean by progress today. We have a lot of technology. Okay, medical technology is progressive. It's helping people who are ailing. All that I agree. But there were 282 lakes in Bangalore just 40 years back. Today we have less than 78. And not a single lake has water which is edible. And we are progressive. We should stop and think, what is progress? Okay, anyway. So we have a debt towards our parents, our grandparents. So this Pitru Runa is very important. Dharma says, you are a Dharmatma if you always try to connect to Ruta Prajna, first point. That is why Sandhya Vandana, Prata Sandhya, Sayam Sandhya. At least 2 times a day. If possible, even Madhyanika. If possible, more than that. If possible, Darsha Purna Masa, that is Hunime and Amavasya pujas. Other than that, you have Rutu, like this Kartikotsava, Shravanotsava, Sharadotsava, Vasantotsava. Now and again, disconnect from your mundane activity, go back and connect to the Ruta Prajna. Satyanarayana Puja Maradu. Puja. Do something, connect to the Ruta Prajna. So this is what they say. If we don't connect to the Ruta Prajna, we are never Dharmatmas. We are just animals. We are eating Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maithunani Samanamaitat Pashubir Narana. Just like animals. Dog is also busy, right? Morning it goes on a walk, it eats something, it comes back. We go for a walk, go to a darshini, eat and come back. We spend money, it gets free, something somewhere. So we have no right to claim that we are better than animals or birds. Because we are not using our prajna properly. We are using our prajna just to improvise on ahara nidra bhaya maithuna. It is also sleeping well, we are also sleeping. It sleeps on the floor as happily and we sleep on a costly cot. We keep changing the cot, upgrading the cot. Have we upgraded our sleep? We don't know. So we have to understand not quantitatively but qualitatively what they told us. So the Ruta Prajna is most important. Without that we are animals. This is the first point of Sanatana Dharma. Second thing is Runatraya. In fact, they add 2 more runas, Uparunas to Runatraya. Devaruna, Pitruruna. Pitruruna I told you. Rushi Runa. If I am speaking Sanskritam today, it's not what I created. It's come down the tradition. My teacher, his teacher, his teacher, his teacher. It goes back to thousands of years. I am eating Anna Sambar today. Who was the first person? Akkiyalli annavanu modalaru kandavaru. Who first found that you can make boiled rice from raw rice? All these beautiful, lovely menu that we have here in Bharata, I am not the founder, but I am enjoying that. So I am indebted. So Rushi Runa, the bhasha I speak, the dress I wear. I don't know how to weave a sari, but I am wearing a sari. I don't know how to build a house, but somewhere the construction technology, Vastu Shilpa came down. 64 kalas, 64 vidyas, all professional arts. Today what we call the spectacular Bharatiya Samskriti is a result of the 64 vidyas and their upabhedas, hundreds of their regional variants. From weaving, from building, from tiles laying. You go and see on the net, you can see the Indus Valley, this Lothal sites where they have tiles on the floor. Just like we have today, such lovely tiles. When I showed it in one of our classes, there was an architect in our class. She totally is now completely committed to study of Indian architecture. Wow, the sites with designs actually. I think you will have seen that. So it came from many centuries. Pottery that we use, the jewelry that we wear, our Ayurveda, our yoga, how to breathe. We all thought we know how to breathe. You come to yoga class, you will realize you have never been breathing properly. So we realize that we start observing our breath. When we come to yoga, we realize how many of our limbs are so inactive. So everything is a Vidya Paddhati. Everything is a Vidya Paddhati. Apart from the 64 Vidyas, which are occupational Vidyas. like weaving or carpentry or building and all these different things, basket weaving, farming. There we have 5 types. Vainodiki, Vajnaniki Vidyaha, Vaidyanika Vidyaha, then Vainodiki Vidyaha, entertainment arts like magic and all these dance, drama, etc. Lalita Kalaha, Kushala Kalaha, this cottage industries, etc. Bauddhiki Kalaha, where your buddhi is the most important thing, like Veda, Vedanga, Tarka, etc. So there are so many Upavedas. They've all come down the tradition. People have done so much of trial and error, and it's modified and modified and modified and modified, seasoned, it's sophisticated, it's come down to us. And in them you have so many. You go to Uttara Karnataka, Ilikal Sire. Ekade Bani inondu Mysore silk sire. Both are as beautiful. They have their own charm. See this variety. So we are beneficiaries of all this, aren't we? So should we not be indebted to them? This is called Rushi Runa. So what is Rushi Runa? What you got from the parampara, you should protect that. And you should pass it on to the next generation. Adhyayanam adhyapanam cha. Very simple. Learn, teach. Learn, teach. You learn karate, you teach karate. I learned Sanskritam, I teach Sanskritam. I am just doing my Rushi Runa. I am not doing anything great. I may claim to be doing anything great, and very generously Prasannaji may say we are doing something great. Actually we are doing our duty. It is our Rushi Runa. To learn to teach, to learn to teach, to learn to teach. In Vyakarana, in our Pashpashanhika, Mahabhashya, there is a chapter called Pashpashanhika. There is a very nice sutra, Vai Vyakaranam, Vyakaranasya Prayojanam. Rakshoha Gama, it goes on, Lagva Sandeha, Ityadi, it goes on. There they say Agama. Agama means just do it. Don't question. Prashnatitavagi madu. Because we have got it. I have got it. So I must give it. I should protect it. Me, I am not just me. I am not just Aarti. I have a date of birth and I will have a date of death. But life doesn't stop with that. So whatever I have inherited, I have to pass the baton and then go. So somewhere, somehow, in some form, we should acknowledge the Rushi Runa. That is why every day we do the Brahma Tarpana. Morning after Sandhyavana, today we don't have time. We have to see WhatsApp, we have to see Facebook, we have to see Instagram. We have so much to gossip, so many other things to discuss and all that. So we don't have time for Brahma Tarpana. What is Brahma Tarpana? Deva Tarpana, Rushi Tarpana, Pitru Tarpana. Isn't it? Anything more? Innu eradidiya? Mukhyavag moore, alva? So it's so beautiful. We don't have time to thank our parents. We don't have time to thank the nature which is sustaining us. God who is sustaining us through Prakriti. We don't have time to thank the Rishis who have taught us how to wear clothes, how to eat food, what to eat. Kallu mannu haki adige madakagatta. What to eat, when to eat, how to eat, and we don't follow that. We still eat junk. We call it junk and still eat that. Okay, so apart from this, there are 2 Uparunas. That is Manushya Runa and Bhuta Runa. We are indebted to people around us. Someday if my mother has gone to a marriage, something, she'll tell my neighbor, Aarti Bhattare, you give her the keys, you give her some milk, something. That lady will take care of me just like my mother did. My neighbor will take care of my kid when I have gone for a workshop. Isn't it? Sometime I'll travel in a train, I have a very heavy baggage. Some gentleman will come and help me take my suitcase and keep it there. I never meet that gentleman again, but am I not indebted to him? I can't trace back, go and find out where he is. There are many people in our lives whom we cannot go back and find and thank. But I have the Runa, is it not? That is called Manushya Runa. That is why they say pay it forward. So I can't call back my Pitrus and give them food. So I'll call some nice Sajjana and make him sit there. You might have seen in the Shraddha Karmas. Vishnu ele, Devar ele. We make them sit. I see my parent, I see my Purvajas in them, and I offer Dana Dharma to them. So pay it forward. So this kind of a Manushya, to acknowledge that I am indebted to everybody around me. That is called Manushya Runa. And then to acknowledge Bhuta Runa. Not only Vanaspatis, not only nature, plants and animals, even insects. Without pollination, half of the forest would have gone today. That is what a bird specialist was saying. I didn't know that insects can be so important. Half of the forests are made by insects, it seems, insects and birds. So imagine how indebted I am. The honey I smear on my sandwich and eat, some hard-working bee has given me, isn't it? So we should be very, very indebted. The sense of runa. So it comes to pancharunas, not runatraya, it comes to pancharunas. To be aware of the pancharunas and to try to give it back in some way, repay in some way, is called yajna. So this is called pancha yajna. So in Sanatana Dharma, first thing is to connect to the Ruta Prajna again and again through meditation, through puja, through Tirtha Yatra. Why disconnect from the world, disconnect from the mundane activities? Because all the time sitting in my sofa, this is my house, I spend 1 crore for this is my dream car, this is mine, this is mine, this is my sari, this is. So me, mine, we are imprisoning ourselves in this just small frame called me and mine. Break out of that, go outside. But what we do? Again we go to a hotel and take up a hotel, we go to a shopping mall again. So we are not understanding the beauty of yatra. Yatra is also, Tirtha Yatra is also for Ruta Prajna. Our Purvajas used to go on Tirtha Yatra with just one mute on their batte, isn't it? They would walk, they would enjoy the nature, sit here and there, Nadi Tirthali. They would do Sandhya Vandanam, they would do Dhyana, Japa, Puja. They would stay for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 1 year. On coming back, if at all they come back, because any cheetah can eat them up on the way, there's always a risk. They'll come back, there'll be a Kashi Samaradhana, Ganga Samaradhana. Today it's so easy, book the flight, go, come back in 1 day. So we have lost the real experience somewhere. But the idea was to give us that connection to Ruta Prajna. So first is to connect to Ruta Prajna. Second is the Pancha Yajnas, the Runa Prajna, to acknowledge that and to do the Yajna, to give it back in some way. Third one is Adhyayana. Our Kula Vritti, whatever is our Kula Vritti. I am born in this family, I am born to a sweeper, I am happy, so what? My father is a sweeper, no problem, I am perfectly happy with that. I am born to a very poor Purohita, no problem. I will stick to my Kula Vritti. So in our Sanatana Dharma, till the Macaulay system came and till the Britishers very, very cleverly, methodically called our Chatushashti Vidyas as castes. They said these are all castes. They were all our professions actually, which made our Indian economy very strong and very self-reliant. We were a buzzing society with a very dynamic economy and very rich, very prosperous, because there was no unemployment in ancient India. There could have been poverty, but no unemployment. Because you take up any profession, if it doesn't suit you, you can go back to your Kula Vritti. That was the system. Today, you have a degree, and if you fail to get a good job, alsur kereg hogodu, beedakke. You can't go back to your father's vritti. Why? The pride has gone. They have damaged that, trampled upon it. Chi, Pauravitya marti. Hey, you do farming. They have created that stigma in our minds, and we have allowed that to happen. We are even ashamed to wear a bindi. See how the bindi is shrinking on everybody's faces. Sorry, but men have almost forgotten the Bharatiya Vesha long ago. At least now we are forgetting, women, lately. We have to get it back. People who bomb will wear their symbols very proudly everywhere in the airport also. But we, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ we rub that and then go to the mall. My challenge is, like Sai Deepak says, I always used to say that, wear a pakka Bharatiya Vesha. Go happily, go to the mall, go to the airport, go anywhere, go to your office. I have an example in our house. It goes like that. No problem. Be proud. This is ours. This Kula Vritti, this Kula Dharma. The pride for Kannada ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ, you should be ashamed to say that. To say that my child knows very good English but not very good Kannada, you should be ashamed. But people are not ashamed today. They are very happy to say that my son knows English. It's already doesn't know Kannada. ಏನು nonsense idu? Who else will learn Kannada if not me? That pride, for Kula Vritti, Kula Dharma. And we used to have these patshalas in every village. They were called Kuli Mathas. In the beginning, they were put there till the age of some 8 or so, till the age of 8. From 5 to 8 or 10 years, all girls and boys of all communities, they would go to the local temple, to the Kuli Matha. They were taught local language, Sanskrit language, some songs, some dance, some tables, some simple mathematics and the history of that place. Veera Gathagalanu helkodta idru. They were taught all the history of the region through songs. Everybody knew their regional history very well. Today, how many of Bangaloreans know about Kempegowda? How many of Bangaloreans who know Kempegowda know about his guru, who motivated him to do all that? Just like there was a Vidyaranya behind Bukkaraya, there was a guru behind Kempegowda. Any idea? Madhava Bhatta anta hesaru. He was running a Pathshala in Ayakondapura, where Kempegowda studied. Some people intentionally delete the name and others don't care to know. That is the problem with us, So we don't know anything about Bengaluru. Many people don't know there were 282 lakes here. Recently I went to a friend's place last month or so. We were talking. He's a very good intellectual historian, everything. He was mentioning that, I was saying there's one river in Bangalore, but we have made it a drainage. He said, not one. There are 5 rivers. He said, 5 rivers in Bangalore. And he is not an ordinary person, very learned person. I came back home and I was talking to my husband and I tried to find out. I got this beautiful website called pani.com. You can go and see. Yes, there are 5 rivers in Bengaluru. All of them, they have been covered with cement slabs. There is a river flowing in our Vijayanagara, Vrushbhavati, down the street. And I didn't know. I always thought it's a Doddamori. We just passed by this Gadi Hanumantrayam Gudi. It's a Triveni Sangama. 3 streams come and join there. In 1950s, there was Dr. Rajkumar's song film there. He was playing in the water. So see what we have done with our rivers. We don't know anything. We don't care. It's all right. So we call ourselves progressive, but Sanatana Dharma is not like that. It says you connect this land. I don't know if this is there in Valmiki Ramayana, I have not seen, but in other Ramayanas, when Rama leaves Ayodhya, he carries a lump of mud from Ayodhya. He takes it along with him, he keeps it along with him for 14 years. See the Janani Janmabhumishcha Svargadapi Gariyasi Api Swarnamayi Lanka Namai Lakshmana Rochate. It's a very beautiful line, but not from Valmiki Ramayana. I searched Valmiki Ramayana, scanned through, I didn't find it. Then I asked my guru, he said, no, it's not there. But it's a lovely thing. That pride, that connection, that we have lost today. How many of us visit our native villages regularly? What do we do for our native villages? There will be a mandira there, there will be a temple there, there will be a lake there, totally forbidden, totally neglected. Do we do anything for that? We have to go back, connect. Youth for Sabha has started a very beautiful project called Swagrama. Yesterday I met a gentleman who is involved in that. Very interesting. Go sit there. We are losing the previous generations. Go talk to them, record. They will tell you about that village, what jatra they used to do, what puja they used to do, what they used to do, how it was like. We are losing all that very, very, very fast in the name of progress. So Sanatana Dharma says, Kula Bhava, Kula Dharma, this is mine. Sri Rama, he is carrying weapons all over all the 14 years. Just like Ravi Varma's Chitra, he was not carrying just one Billu Bana. That is Ravi Varma's depiction. If you read Valmiki Ramayana, he was carrying loads and loads of weapons on his head. Rama and Lakshmana were carrying big loads of weapons. They had hundreds of weapons, extraordinary weapons. Many of them were given by Vishwamitra, some were given by other Atri and other Rishis. So many they had. 52 astras, I myself have numbered them in Valmiki Ramayana. 52 astras the Rishis in the forest gave. That apart Vishwamitra gave. So imagine how much they were carrying. Sita says, why should we carry all this? We are on Vanavasa, right? Keep it in one place. After the Vanavasa, we'll collect and go. You don't need it in the forest. You know what Rama says? He says, no, it's my Kulavritti. Kshatra is my Kulavritti. I may be Rajya Brashta, but I cannot be Dharma Brashta. Whether in the forest or in the palace. Whether I am a king or not a king. I still have to follow my Kulavritti. Kshatra, Kshetra Rakshanat Kshatriyaha. I need to protect people. Anytime anybody is in distress in this forest, I should be able to rush to help them. I should take care of you. I should take care of these people. I must be able, I cannot say I don't have weapons, sorry, I can't help you. No. I will do my Kulavati. See Rama, why do we worship Rama? If we worship Rama, if you read Valmiki Ramayana, at least what I experience is, we will understand what is Kartavya Prajna. So that Kula Dharma, Kula Vritti is very, very important. That is what Sanatana Dharma stresses. Whatever you are, wherever you are, love the village, love the river, love your Kula, love your clan, love your parents, love your Vritti. So have that kind of cultural identity very strong. So then comes the love for environment, nature. So we get from nature. There are so many mantras in the Vedas which say, I'm taking this from you, I'm sorry, I have no other way, I have to live. If I have to live, I have to eat. I am taking your vegetable, I am taking your food to the plant. Does the plant speak? We may say. Today's logic says, science says they are all, they don't speak. But Sanatana Dharma says, yes, they do speak. They are in the Sushupti Avastha. They are in the Jagrata Avastha. They are in the Sushupti Avastha, Swapna Avastha. And even stones speak. They are in the Sushupti Avastha. So there are different levels of consciousness. So I will thank them. The plant may not say anything, or I may not comprehend what the plant is saying, but I will respect that. If I cut down one tree, very clearly the Puranas say, very clearly, Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, Skanda Purana, all the Puranas, Purana heltare ant heltivalla, come and read the Puranas. Such lovely messages are there. Most of the Puranas, they talk about flora and fauna. Many Puranas, including Artha Shastra and Dharma Shastras, if you cut one tree, you have to plant 10 trees. That in that also, if you are cutting the Deva Vrikshaha, there are some recognized as Deva Vrikshaha, not that they are divine and others are not. They are specifically very, very good for the atmosphere, like Ashwatha, Nima, and all these particular trees. If you cut them, they say about types of narakas you go to. There's a list of 24 narakas in Garuda Purana. I feel they are not enough for what we are doing today. So, this kind of a connection to nature. I remember when I would go to my granny's house, we used to play with the well water. Draw the water, pour it back. My granny would say, Vapas hakbar dange. Once you draw that, you fill in something else, don't put the water back. We would fill everything and then what to do? We would throw it back. Then I was asking why not. Then she was saying, she doesn't know, but she said, look, once you have touched the water, madi illa adu. Today, Corona taught us the same thing, right? Once I have touched it, it is contaminated. If I throw it back into the well. Then my granny told one more thing. This well water is not just our water. Everybody's well is connected. So if you mailige madidre, ellar mane mailige agutte. My granny, she didn't study in English school. She doesn't know anything. But she has a point. I don't have a point. Corona came to teach us how to wash hands. See? In so-called very hi-fi hotels, they will not have a wash basin. Have you seen? You have to go to the washroom for the wash basin. So that's modernity. We have to keep washing our hands. So there they tell us how to treat the nature. Always and never, today we just picnic and use shampoo and soap and kill the aquatic life and come back with selfies. This is not what we should do. Sanatana Dharma says, if at all you use any material to take bath in rivers or lakes, it should be edible material. Kadle hittu, arshna, isn't it? That is what our granny used to use. So they all made a lot of sense. We are not doing it today. And respect Daivam Manusha Rupena. Respect all human beings, the fifth point. Respect all human beings as Daiva Swarupas. If somebody comes to my house, if Ashwini Bhagini comes, Archana Bhagini comes, we will not send her back like that. Prasanna avarge maatadisbittu coffee koಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸಬಹುದು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಶನ ಕುಂಕುಮ ತಾಂಬೂಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ವಾ? My husband says, ನನಗೆ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಖರ್ಚು ನಿನಗೆಲ್ಲ ತಾಂಬೂಲ ಅಂತ. Why? She is the representative of that house. If I respect her, I am honoring the whole family. Isn't it? Why? If I can't give that, I'll feel very guilty. It's a typical nature for us. Because we respect that family. This family respects that family. Every Manushya is a Daiva Swarupi. That is why Navaratra is coming. We do Kumari Puja, we do Sumangli Puja, we do Dampati Puja. When Shashti comes, we do Brahmachari Puja, Hosilu Puja, Go Puja, Ashwata Puja, Tulsi Puja. This is not nonsense. This is seeing God in everything, everywhere. Everything is God. God is in everything. Everything is God for us. What else is God? Where do you want to go and search for God? Some 7th cloud, 9th cloud. He is here in front of us. If I hurt somebody, I have hurt God. Ghat ghat ramata rama ramaya katuka vachanamatu bol. Such a nice saying, the Dasas say. So everywhere there is God. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshe junatishati. Ishavasya sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat Upanishad say. Sarvam khalvidam brahma, the Vedas say. So everything is Brahmamaya. Sarvam Brahmamayam rere sarva Brahma. So this darshana, to see God everywhere, that is Sanatana Dharma. That is why even Atiti Devo Bhava, even the people who offended us, we have given them so many opportunities to correct. Okay, you are our Atithis, but Vaktumba Ati Aitu Ansathe. There is always a limit to everything. Finally, I think the call, that is also there in Sanatana Dharma, Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastite, Anaryajushtama Swargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna, Klaibyam Masmagam Pata, Naitatva Upapadyate, Kshuttam Hridaya Daupadyam, Tyaktva Uttishta Parantapa. The first 2 lines of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. You go and see. The first 2 lines, Krishna speaks this. This is the first and second shloka of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't say, okay, Arjuna, Papa, Bejara, okay, Beda Bidu, Yuddha Madu, Beda. He doesn't say like that. He says, Kutastva Kashmanamidam. What happened to you? Anaryajustam, Asvargyam, Akirtikaram. It's wrong in every way, in every sense. Klaibyam Masman. Get up and go, wage the war. Because this war is not for you. It is not your choice. I want to wage a war. Not that. It is your dharma. Karaniyam kartavyam. It's your kartavya to protect dharma. People who offend dharma, you have to annihilate them. You have given them enough chances. They have not corrected themselves, so remove them. If you do not do that, I'll get it done to somebody else. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. What words Krishna says. So, panchayagnyas and kshama, everything is okay. But when somebody is destroying the whole ecosystem, when Mahishasura is destroying an ecosystem, Devi will not remain Gauri. Bichole Gaurama, she will become Kali, she will become Durga. Krishna will not be Venugopala, he will become a Chakradhara. Rama, when he lifts his bow, nobody can stop him. So, Shanti and Shakti, both should be in a Samarasa. This is a very, very clear message in Sanatana Dharma. Read Ramayana, read Mahabharata, read Bhagavatam, read Puranas, read Veda, Upanishad. Everywhere they talk about Shanti and Shakti. Shanti is like potential energy and Shakti is kinetic energy. This only becomes kinetic. If there is no kinetic, what is the use of the potential energy? So let's be clear with this. Hindu Dharma is not about only being Antarmukha and Shanta. It is also about facing, tackling, countering adharma and subduing that. I may die in the process. I may lose my comfort. I will come out of I will miss my TV serial. I will have to do some sacrifices. But I will do my duty and exit. But Dharma will continue. So this is a very clear message of Sanatana Dharma. There are many more. Sorry, I think I took a lot of time. I forgot myself. So there are many more things. These 5 things at least we should remember. Panchayagnyas and the Ruta Prajna. This much we understand. I think we will have a lot of clarity about what to do, how to do, what to do, till where to do, where to put a limit, where to dilute, where to simplify, where not to simplify, where to compromise, where not to compromise. So, Samanya and Vishesha, that also they talk. What is general, what is universal, we cannot compromise, like Satya, Himsa, Preeti, Kshama, Swadhyaya, Tapas, Shaucha, Indriya Nigraha. We cannot compromise. But when it comes to Vayaktika Dharma, I worship Vishnu, you worship Shiva, you worship Ganesha, okay. I want to wear a red sari, you want to wear a blue one, okay. I want to do Pongal today for Devi Puja, you want to do Bhattu, fine. So this is okay. Vishesha Dharma is okay. But when it comes to the Semitic faiths, like Islam or Christianity, for them Vishesha Dharma is everything. For them, their Vishesha Dharma, the external practices are everything. Nothing else matters. For us, external practices always should be supplementary to the main idea of Satya Dharma. That is why we are flexible. That is why we are flexible. But this flexibility has been taken advantage of too far. Today, an elected representative of people comes and says shamelessly on media that eradicates Sanatana Dharma. ಕೊಂದ ಜನಗಳನ್ನು ಬಂಧುವೆಂದು ಕರೆದಂಥ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದ people who had to be eradicated in the very beginning, we have managed to survive with them. We have tried to forgive them, accommodate them, and this spirit has not been tolerated. It is too much. So I think Krishna's words are what we require most now. So, and Sanatana Dharma is very dynamic. It's not stagnant. You can always, it's like our modern furniture, you know. You can arrange, dismantle. So the main sutras, the principles are always there. But the norms you can always rearrange. So for the modern world, for the modern problems, modern challenges, we'll have to rearrange all that, and that is left to us. So with these words, I'm sorry for a long discourse. Namaste.